What's going on, everybody? It's John here, doing videos about investing, about online income, and about credit, and also a little bit of adventure travel. I'm putting up some of those recently as well, because that's kind of what I like to do in my time that is not work and not family. Well, sorry, I combined adventure travel with family as well, but anyway. What I've been doing is also focusing a lot of some content on Bitcoin and crypto. I'm certainly a long-time investor, been investing since 1989. My first job out of college was Merrill Lynch. Did a little bit of investment banking, and my first job in Los Angeles was Sun America. So, and I'm also a really good investor. But none of my information is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It's just for entertainment. But basically, I focused a lot on Bitcoin because it's very fascinating for me. I actually invest in companies that have exposure to Bitcoin, but not necessarily. I don't invest in crypto or Bitcoin directly. Somebody I really certainly really appreciate their advice and everything they have to say is Reid Hoffman. In fact, I read a book from Reid Hoffman a while ago, back in 2013, and the book that he wrote is called The Startup of You. It doesn't look like Reid has written that many books, maybe one other book, but that's really, so that book was actually pretty good, but he had one particular thing, something that he said in that book that really resonated very well with me and has had a lot of impact on my life. And that one statement that he made was really about entrepreneurship. And he said, going out and being an entrepreneur, starting something new, on your own, not really having any experience with it is actually kind of crazy. He said, what, really a much better route to consider as an entrepreneur is to do something that's just one step beyond what you're already doing, right? So, whatever that is, if that you have contextual experience with, I think obviously if it's professional experience, it's much better. But if you're doing, something that's just one step, what you're already doing, you should have a better chance, certainly a much better chance of succeeding with it, as opposed to something that you're totally brand new at. That actually, as soon as I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, wow. A much smaller example I have for myself is, I've got some properties here in Southern California, which I do kind of short, medium term rentals on. And I had kind of somebody living at one of the places for kind of a while, like 3 years. And at that time, back in 2013, VRBO and Airbnb were really starting to come up with their traffic. And I just kind of made a decision to kind of get back and start to do that again, doing the short and medium term rentals. And it sure enough, it played a really, really a big role in having a big impact in, me and my life and average cash flow and everything like that. So I always remembered, that statement from Reid. And Reid is also the co-founder of LinkedIn. I presume that you know what LinkedIn is. If you don't, LinkedIn is like the Facebook for your resume, right? But he is the co-founder of LinkedIn. He's also a partner at Greylock. It's a venture capital company. But I'm going to go ahead and take you into a clip where Reid talks about Bitcoin. He's a very sensible approach to crypto and to Bitcoin, and he kind of talks about his view and his philosophy on it. So let's go check it out.
That also adds into the various areas of technology. So like, for example, we started doing stuff in crypto really early because we said, hey, this could be a new network platform for building new parts of the financial infrastructure that would help both the emerging world and the developed world.
Let's talk about crypto for a moment, because Bill Gates just told me he's not bullish on Bitcoin. If you have less money than Elon Musk, he thinks you probably shouldn't buy it. What's your Bitcoin take?
So I'm more optimistic than Bill. What I've thought for a number of years is that the problem in the dialogue around Bitcoin is it tends to be all Bitcoin or no Bitcoin. It's like, will Bitcoin replace the dollar? And actually, in fact, I think it's just another asset, another, storage of value vehicle amongst the mix. And so, for example, you said, well, should you buy gold or not have gold? Well, you certainly shouldn't put all your money in gold, right? Question is it a little bit more, that kind of thing? And I think the same thing is true about Bitcoin, which is in this kind of portfolio management of a modern, hyper-connected world, some diversity is a good thing. And then it's up to your kind of, appetite about what the portfolio balance should be, just as how much you would do tech stocks or emerging stocks or other kinds of things, as a kind of a question of how do I balance my portfolio?
So let's talk about AI for a moment.
So there you go. Those are some pretty wise words from Reid Hoffman. And I was actually super excited to see that clip. And when I watched it, I was a little bit. I kind of was hoping that he'd have something a little bit more profound than that, because he does talk about how they were doing stuff in crypto early on, and they've got some more early on exposure. But it's really, in a way, it's the most sensible thing, and it seems to be what it is that makes the most sense, right? People that have been talking about crypto and Bitcoin, it's surprising me how bullish they are on it, but at the same time, the way that what they're saying makes a lot of sense. Like Tom Lee, and I've done a lot of I've found a lot of clips on Tom Lee, and I've really appreciated things that Tom Lee has to say. If you don't know who Tom Lee is, I mean, he's kind of a guy who's on Wall Street. He's now a CNBC contributor, and when he talks, I mean, people really listen. He was spot on with the way that the market came back, after March of 2020, and really predicting some levels. And he's been also spot on this year in terms of predicting. I shouldn't say predicting, but forecasting a correction from February to April, and then a really really strong rally here in April, and then a strong kind of pretty much from now till the end of the year. But basically, he talks about really the way that people are going to expose themselves to Bitcoin and crypto, right? So if they have, whatever portfolio is stocks, as their stocks go up and their stocks appreciate, they're more willing to, they have more of an appetite to expose themselves, to a, 1, 2, 3% exposure to Bitcoin. And that's what Cathie Wood from ARK is saying as well. I mean, Cathie Wood is saying, hey, all these institutional investors, Goldman Sachs, right? Other, large financial institutions are interested in putting their clients' money and institutional money, into Bitcoin, and they're really kind of considering, okay, what do we do? 0.25%, 50 basis points, 1%. They're all really considering dedicating a certain percentage, and then deciding what that percentage is that they're going to assign to to Bitcoin as an investment. And Reid really says the same thing. Hey, it makes a lot of sense. How is it that you're going to, basically responsibly organize your portfolio, and what percentage are you going to dedicate to Bitcoin? What percentage are you going to dedicate to growth stocks? So it's really an individual decision, and it comes down to really just what sort of decision you want to make, and what sort of percentage of your own assets, of your net assets, do you want to expose, right, to Bitcoin. And it's just really, really simple. But like I said, I've got a lot of appreciation and respect for what it is that Reid has to say. When I read his book, The Startup of You, it had a big impact on my life. Not only did I get that one house, which was kind of a property here in Southern California, back and doing kind of shorter rentals, as opposed to somebody living there for, 1, 2, 3 years. They lived there for like 3 years, and it just didn't really make that much money. Now it's almost like, it's possibly 4 times as much, let's say, revenue, as opposed to the kind of long-term unfurnished rates, right? In terms of, taking a look at what that real estate earns you on a per month or a per year basis. And it's been, super great decision to me. So that's what I kind of, it's something that really makes a lot of sense with respect to Reid. And what he said again is, if you're going to make a decision of entrepreneurship, consider something that is, kind of one step away from what you're already doing, or what you already have experience with. Kind of take a step outside of, your of what you're doing, what you have experience with. Give it a shot that way, and you have a much better chance for success, as opposed to something that is completely, totally brand new to you. So that is my clip on Reid Hoffman and crypto and Bitcoin for today. Here we are. It's April of 2021. Everybody, I'm going to put some links in this description area. If you want to see more clips from Reid Hoffman, what he has to say, let me know. I definitely really enjoy Reid Hoffman. I follow him as much as I can, and I'm happy to go out there and do some more videos with respect to some wisdom from Reid. Okay, and also I came out with a new blueprint recently, everybody. I do videos on investing, on online income. I'm also been an internet marketing entrepreneur. I've got generated about 20 million of career revenue going back to about the mid 2000s, and then also credit. I do videos on credit. I've processed 1 million mortgage applications. Was kind of sending mortgage companies a lot of leads and applications over the boom years, the refinance boom years, and basically my blueprint is about a 63-page plus blueprint, and it's on investing, online income, credit, business credit. And then at the very end, I got a 15-page guide with all the groups in the U.S. that give you a free credit score, plus all the groups that give you a free FICO score. That way you never have to pay for a FICO again. And that's all the bureaus, right? Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And everybody, it's only $7. So go ahead and check out those links below. And yeah, if you find value, give me a like, shoot me a DM, or put a comment below if you want to see more videos or hear more about what Reid Hoffman has to say about anything. Thank you.